It's me, Andrea Reynolds, aka the Social Studies Whisperer. I'm coming to you from scenic Asheville, North Carolina. I'm also coming to you a little more low-key this week because tomorrow is the first day of school. I do intend to keep up my show and blog posts during the school year, and if that means I'm sporting a more low-maintenance look and my dog might possibly pop in as a co-anchor, well, so be it. Haven't had to set up a classroom in 3 years, and I did it in a week. And yeah, I'm tired. Whoa. So for those of you also experiencing teacher tired, I get it. I'm right there with you. Okay, enough about that. Let's move on to episode 4 of my weekly Top Hits show. I'm coming to you every Sunday with 3 historical events that occurred this week so that you can plan ahead. I'll feature helpful ideas for integrating literacy, technology, and supporting all learners. These fun facts can be your saving grace in those transition moments, great lesson hooks, or the makings of morning work. I'll be including significant events from across the spectrum, including Born on this Day, battles, inventions, sports, scientific achievements, music, arts, pop culture, and more. Excuse me. Find out the interests of your students and use these tidbits as a way to build community and foster relationships with your learners this year and spark further interest in history. Hey, that's always a good thing. If you follow the link in the video description to each week's blog post, you will find links that I mentioned, even more description for the historical happenings, and an event for every day of the week. You can find all previous episodes in my Instagram profile. Let's get started with the week of August 27th. Sorry, my allergies are getting to me. Those are all the dust from cleaning. This is a big week for civil rights. And you'll note from my show, I'm running the weeks Monday through Saturday. Sundays are all you. Top hit 1 is Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech at the March on Washington in 1963. This was also the same day in history that Emmett Till was tragically murdered. Every time I listen to the I Have a Dream speech, it gives me chills. It's like Dr. King knew his untimely death was forthcoming. I have a blog post with lots of resources for African American History Month. And of course, every month is African American History Month. And in that post, I have a lot of links for the speech. And one I highly recommend using is the Civil Rights Vocabulary Unit. The end of the clip is the words of the speech from Dr. King himself. There's also a newer unit just about Dr. King. Fun fact, I share a birthday with Martin Luther King Jr. Okay, if you know me, you know I'm a huge fan of vocabulary. That's what I was just talking about. It's a website that features engaging and educational raps. I'm such a fan that I became a FloCab MC educator, which means I'm essentially a brand ambassador. I just share the love for the glory and sometimes swag, which is pretty cool, because it's an invaluable teaching tool. I am not a paid affiliate, nor would I ever be. If you don't have a subscription, you can check it out with a free trial. You will want to get your own subscription, I promise. Teaching Tolerance is another phenomenal resource for civil rights, and you can find that at tolerance.org. I also wrote a blog post with 10 reasons why you should be using that site. It's a free resource, and I will link to that also in this week's blog post. My favorite activity to have students do after discussing the speech is have them write about what their dream for the future is. Not what they want to be, like what they foresee for the world. I even did this with first graders I did a long-term subbing job for last year, and they did a great job. Okay, during episode 1, I mentioned Berlin being split and how, in part, that led to the Cold War. Here's top hit 2. Did you know poet Robert Frost went on a goodwill tour of the USSR? He did that on this day in 1962. First of all, explain to students that the USSR is the former name of Communist Russia. Okay, that's like the elementary level explanation, okay? This event caught my attention because I love Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken. I shared some ideas for incorporating figurative language into the Cold War in episode 1, and obviously this poem is a big metaphor for life. You could have students talk about that or have them research other Americans who also went on goodwill tours and visited the USSR to try to foster better relations with them. Okay, I mentioned this week was a big week for civil rights. Top hit 3 is the confirmation of Thurgood Marshall as Supreme Court Justice on August 30th, 1967. Why is it significant? Well, Justice Marshall was the first African American member of the Supreme Court. Even more notable was that this was during the height of the civil rights movement. Marshall was the trailblazing attorney who led the Brown family to victory in the landmark court case, Brown versus the Board of Education. Guess what? Vocabulary has a unit about Thurgood Marshall too. When I say unit, I mean a 3-ish minute rap, lyrics, printables, vocabulary, a vocabulary game, lesson plans, and more. It's not just YouTube. You could also show the movie trailer for the movie Marshall on IMDb. As always, please preview ahead of time and note that this site does show ads. Speaking of landmark court cases, check out streetlaw.org. There's info there and a link to another great site about just the cases. This wraps up the top hits of August 27th through August 31st. Don't forget to check the link in the description to read the blog post and sign up for a reminder if you want one at bit.ly/ss-hooks. You'll get my free lesson hook cheat sheet. But wait, there's more. Hey, are you in my Facebook group for teachers called Social Studies Salute? I'd love to have you. I just uploaded the PDF for the clues and the answers for the bulletin board I did this week for world-class mistake makers. I got the ideas from some other teachers on Instagram and in my group, and I felt like I couldn't just keep it to myself because it was a collaborative effort. So thanks for watching, and follow the link to join the group. And let me know if you used any of these top hits or found any of these interesting, and I will see you next Sunday for episode 5. Have a great week.